Canto, Can,
Radio Town.
Canto, Can.
You're listening to Radio Town. Hello, and welcome to week 56 of Radio Town.
Yes, gone. Welcome to week 66 of Radio Can. Yes, gone.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a normal show this week. Yes, gone.
Yeah,
We got all your normal features back. How are we gone?
yeah.
Such as the mystery song. Yes, gone. What's the mystery song gone?
5 sister songs in 5 decades.
Yes, gone. And we also got history with Roshan this week. How are we going?
Yeah.
And what else do we have done?
Guards.
Yes, and that's with Ethan. Yes, gone. We also got Lacey with the charts. Yes, gone.
Yes, yeah.
And we also got Kiel later on the show with his opinions. Yes, gone.
Yeah.
What's he looking at this week, gone?
Meat.
Yes. Yes, gone.
Yes, yeah.
What's he looking at this week, gone?
Meat.
Yes, gone. Kiel's looking at meats this week. Yes, gone.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at everybody's favourite meats. Yes, gone.
Mine steak.
And we'll be having a leaderboard answers later on in the show. Yes, gone.
Yes, yeah.
And our interview for this week. Yes, gone. Who we're interviewing this week, gone?
Stefan Lloyd Owen.
Yes, we're interviewing the opera singer Stefan Lloyd Owen this week. Yes, gone.
Yeah.
That'll
Yeah.
be later on in the show. Yes, gone. What song we're going to start off this week, gone?
Did win.
And that's by Gavin Vewan. Yes, gone.
Yes, yeah.
And then after this, we'll have the mystery song for this week.
Bobore yn ei dro, roedd hyn ty dydd yn dechrau gyda'r wawr. A'r tyrain yn dilyn y llwybrau hen y tŷ. Roedd pob dydd yn newydd ddydd, a phob cam yn gwbl rhydd. A ffatrwm byw yn glir yn esgair llyn. Mae'n dawel yn awr yn esgair llyn, lle gynt y bîm yn dysgu can y byd. Ond mae'r gwaed yn llifo'n gynt, a'r gan yn fyw fel cynt, a Chymru'n fyw o hyd yn esgair y llyn. Pan a fi yn ôl, mi welaf luniau ddoi ar hyd y lle. A chofia fy hwyl a gwres y cneu a gwaith. Mae'r hyn gymdeithas wedi mynd, a'r gwynt sy'n chwythu lle mynd, i ddwy'n atgofio'n bore oes yn esgair llyn. Mae'n dawel yn awr yn esgair llyn, lle gynt y bîm yn dysgu can y byd. Ond mae'r gwaed yn llifo'n gynt, a'r gan yn fyw fel cynt, a Chymru'n fyw o hyd yn esgair llyn. Wrth sefyll yma nawr, mi glywaf y dynfar gwreiddiau dan fy nhraed. A chlywaf y gan cyn dadau yn y gwaith. Ac ar wyneb hen y tir, mae'r llwybr i weld yn glir, yn arwain at y fori esgair llyn. Mae'n dawel yn awr yn esgair llyn, lle gynt y bîm yn dysgu can y byd. Ond mae'r gwaed yn llifo'n gynt a'r gan yn fyw fel cynt a Chymru'n fyw o hyd Ynys Gaerffili. Ond mae'r gwaed yn llifo'n gynt a'r gan yn fyw fel cynt a Chymru'n fyw o hyd Ynys Gaerffili.
The last song was Thirsty to Win.
And that was by Gavin Viwan, yes, go on.
Yes, dear.
And now we got your mystery song now for this week. How are we going? What's the mystery song?
5 different songs in 5 decades.
Yes, and here comes the mystery song here on Radio Can.
Here comes the mystery voice.
Mystery Boy. Mystery Boy.
Here's our first song for this week.
Song number 2 for this week.
Song number 3 for this week.
Song number 4 week.
Song number 5 this week.
Hope you got all the songs correct.
Yes, go on. And what's our next song here now, Dom?
Perfect Split.
And that's by Fleur de Lis. Yes, go on. And then what's after this, go on?
History with Ethan.
No, with Ocean. Yes, go on.
Ocean.
Yes. Yes, go on. And then, yes, this is Father Fifth, Fleur de Lis.
Wrth gyfri'r oriau be di'r cysur cadw'n brysur heb atebion I pam dwi'n trio unwaith, dwywaith, tair gwaith a mwy a di hynny ma'n golygu derbyn bod dim ar fwy o brisio trwsio, sortio bob dim sydd yn bod pan a weithiau y peth gorau di gael a bod dim I fod.
This is the history. This is the history. So the last one was Fleur-de-Lis. Chi'n cofio fi siarad am Fleur-de-Lis pros dwytha. Y Steddfod yn do yn neud y Gold Triban. So the next one is Fleur-de-Lis. Fawb a Ffurf. It's a new song, by the way. That comes out literally last year, I think. Yeah, it is last year. Now we've got the history for this week. So, if you remember that I've been to Harry Potter Land, didn't I? Well, there you go. You guessed it right. I'm not going to ask you what the history was going to be this week. It's going to be the history about Harry Potter. So, a history of magic refers to critically acclaimed 2017 collaboration between J.K. Rowling and the British Library, celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Francis Webb project. Wrong! No, it isn't. It's 25th anniversary. Wrong! Project explored the real world folklore, myths, and historical artifacts that inspected the magical objects, spells, and creatures in Hogwarts curriculum. The exhibition book. The project began as the major 2017 exhibition at the British Library in London, which later toured to the New York History Society in 2018. It showcased priceless historical documents such as Ancient Alchemical Scroll, reel with which is a broomstick, and Chinese oracle bones, alongside J.K. Rowling personal sketches, notes, and early manuscript drafts. The company books allow fans to take the exhibition home. Harry Potter, A History of Magic, the Book of Exhibition, the primary exhibition, catalogue featuring chapters dedicated to Hogwarts. Hogwarts subjects like potions, herbology, and divination. Harry Potter journey through history. Well, you may ask, of magic, a more accessibly bite-sized company that delivers in specific magical history, like dragons, unicorns, and philosopher's stone. Hang on! Unicorns? No, it isn't. Stop lying, Google. That's not it. It's actually spiders, for your information, people. God almighty. The documentary, two major company documentary, were realised alongside the exhibition to give fans an inside look at the artifacts and Rowling creative process. Oh, by the way, before I finish this history, nearly, about 5 minutes left probably, yeah, just to let you know, yeah, there's really good history about Harry Potter in Watford. Very good, actually. Not just good, very good. It is in Watford, Harry Potter, Warner Bros. Studio of Harry Potter. If you want to go and see it, and you're a big fan, go there. Because they got it all there. Oh, wow, well, the place in there is brilliant. And try butterbeer, by the way. And yeah, there is an alcoholic drink before anyone asking the school. Audio documentary and immersive audio exclusive documentary narrated by Natalie Dorman, featuring expert commentary and interview with Seriously Illusion and actors. History of magic in the wizarding world. Within the Harry Potter lore itself, History of Magic is the Madame core class tough at Hogwarts. It's covered the past events of wizarding worlds such as the Goblin Rebellions and the creation of Chamber of Secrets. The class famously dry and is toughed by Professor Cuthbert Binns, a ghost who continues to teach long after his physical death. Students really on the textbook, A History of Magic by Bathilda Bagshot. Do I know who Bathilda Bagshot is? No, until I see the picture of it. No. Don't ask. So, I'm not going to tell you a lot about the actors. Harry Potter is Daniel Radcliffe. Pretty much that. Pretty much I know about it. Harry Potter histories. There's a lot of games. There's a game on the phone that is good. Also, they got Professor Taunton Binns, didn't I just say? Jack Krosky as well. Classroom, Class 72. Classroom 4F. Wow. A History of Magic by Bathilda Backlot, required a textbook. Required equipment. Books, parchment, quill. Well, Quidditch as well, in other words. History of Magic was subject and core class taught at Hogwarts School of Wizards and Wizardry. This class was a study of magical history. In this was one other subject where the use of magic, particularly was not necessarily history of magic, was taught from the 1st to the 5th year, at the end of which there would be an owl exam considering solely and written saying, and offered the 6th and 7th years at the optional subject. The professor of the subject, Cotton Binns, taught to Hogwarts many years ago before his death, and even after his death, he's continued teaching Hogwarts as it goes. Class information, not telling you. Location and time. Well, location is in Warner Bros. Studio. Spoiler alert. I just spoiled it. The Hogwarts is brilliant. Diagon Alley is brilliant. Everything's brilliant in that place. Severus Snape, Harry Potter, Hedwig the Owl, Ron Weasley, Dobby the don't know, Bathilda Backlot, Bellatrix Lestrange, Voldemort, Dumbledore, Professor McGonagall, and also we got Hagrid that sadly died. That's why I'm just saying a bit of a name of it, because sadly died, some of them. My subject is History of Magic. I deal with facts. Miss Granger. Hermione Granger as well. And don't tell me when people say at home that I am not in love with Hermione Granger. No, I'm not. And if someone told me that at home that I like her, 1, 2, 3, give up. As Professor Binns was very old at the time of his death, he was very set in his way, and students found him difficulty to relate to Binns. And I'm not obsessed with Hermione Granger either, even though I'm talking about her a lot. No, I'm not. So stop it. Lesson considered of him recently undroning, as many would put it, a lecturer to his students. He did not seem to mind or notice that the class rarely paid attention, or even that they slept through his class, with the explanation of Hermione Granger, who alone seemed able to resist the disposal power of Binns' voice. Ron Weasley, Harry Potter, Hermione, oh my god, I'm obsessed with her, am I? And talking about it, am I? Goblin and much more. Chamber of Secrets is actually good. The films are brilliant, actually. Yeah, the film is actually, I don't know, spooky, funny. Yeah, probably that's more I can explain to you. Classrooms, History of Magic classes took place in Class 72 on the 3rd floor, and Classroom 4F on the 1st floor. Classroom 4F was filled for the room with books on history with Dumbledore's spellbook, locked in the side room, protected with minor magical defense. First year was Thursday, second period. Second is on the Friday the 4th. Third was Wednesday in the morning. Fourth was Tuesday in the morning. Fourth was Friday in the morning. And fifth was Monday. First, second, first half. Sixth, seventh, unknown. Google it. Can I just know what it is? But Google it. Just to let you know, we got about 1-2 minutes left on this, so I have a bit more about it. First year, 1 hour of answering questions about Buffy the Wizard, but I'm not spoiling anything. So, Gadbully Strike of 1911, Soap Blizzard of 1378, Werewolf Code of Conduct, Emmerich the Evil, Ulrich the Oddball. Ulrich the Oddball. Well, never heard of the bloody thing. Elfric the Eager, Self-Straining the Cauldron. Second year, Professor Binns opened the notes and began to read it, flat down like an old vacuum cleaner, until nearly everyone in the class was in deep stupor, occasionally coming long enough to cope down a name or date, then falling asleep again. A history of magic lesson in 1999. Joking, 1992. Medieval, don't talk about that. Third year, I've rewritten by Wallace History of Magic Easy, includes some of the things I found out. I hope it's not too long. Get it? Joke? I hope this not too long on the history. Okay, comment down below if you know what's a joke and if that's a joke for you. It's 2 roll of punishment more than Professor Binns asked for. Hermione Granger telling Harry Potter about her 3rd year History of Magic homework, which is Hunt. 4th year, the meanwhile Professor Binns, that goes to Tuft History of Magical, had them written weekly easy on the Goblin Riblins of the 18th century. Professor Binns setting 4th year homework, Goblin Riblins. 5th year, today they suffered in Howard and half drowning on the subject of Giant War, a 5th year lesson. Medieval Assemble of European Wizards, Giant Wars, Goblin Rebellion 1612, Goblin Rebellion 1752, International Statue of Secrecy, with Hunts of 14th century, Werewolf Code of Conduct, International Warlock Convention 1982, International Confidential of Wizards, Goblin Rebellion. And by the way, you know, everyone's saying it a bit too long, but I promise you it's going to be only a quarter of an hour. History of Wardlery, Uprising of Elfric the Acre, which tries of 1692, Wendeley the Warrior, Gadbully Strike of 1911, Dissolving of the Wizards Council, Anxiety Runers, Owl Air Force, Ulrich the Oddball, 14th century wizarding, the community bubble. And that's everything, nearly, except 1 more year, and we think we're finished. Yeah. Now, just to let you know, this is all, nearly all of the actual thing, what they're actually doing in the Warner Bros. Studio Harry Potter recording work. So, last thing till the last song, the next song after this. So, I hope you enjoyed it. 7th year, Emmerich the Evil, famous and historical duel, Alchemy in medieval Europe. Broom history, found in St. Mungo's Hospice in 36. History of Dragonpox, 37. Warlock Convention of 1709. Gringotts history. Hang on, I think everyone thinks to know what's Gringotts. Gringotts Bank. Gringotts Bank, yes. That is a bank that people need to have money for. Or Azkaban. No, it isn't, joking. Azkaban history, historical mystery. Soap Blizzard of 1778. And the last one, nearly, is Dyroweski. Who the hell's Dyroweski? And also, you can't forget J.K. Rowling, can you, people? Come on. Grade, passing grade. Outstanding, 0. Exercising expectation, E. Acceptable, A. Fail grades, well, poor, P. Dreadful, D. And troll, T. No vowel, Hedwig. That's pretty much I know. Of course, there's no pictures of it. That's silly, isn't it? Behind the scenes, and we're finished. As the bins became a ghost, he could no longer move beyond the whale, and would remain earful bound for all eternity. This means that unless he registered or was sacked, he would have been the history of magic teacher forever. This was probably the reason that the school had not sacked him. First fad, despite his dreadful teaching, technically although it could be something sometimes after the second Wizarding War, that a dreadful, more engaging teacher took over from Ben's, as it was crucial and necessary for more students to make the subject far more interesting and to increase the chance for students to at least achieve a passing grade of OWL exams. Think Harry Potter of Philosopher's Stone, that is, Harry Potter of the Philosopher's Stone, yeah? Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets video game. Hold on, do not know that? Right, Google it. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the game. Hold on, another one. Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban, the game. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix video game. Again, that's another one. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Oh yeah, you guessed it. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince film. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows game. Harry Potter television series. Harry Potter trading card game. Really good. Got it. I got it. Pottermore. HarryPotter.com is the actual website. Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. Harry Potter Wizardry mentioned online only. Harry Potter Magic Oakland and Hogwarts Legacy. Also, Hogwarts Legacy is a video game on the Xbox, PlayStation, PC, wherever. So Warner Bros. Studio is in Watford, and if you Google it on website, comes up Warner Bros. Studio website. Probably is coming up Warner Bros. Studio. Now, the next song is gonna be Gwilym by Gwilym. Remember me talking last week about Gwilym, the song Fleur de Lis, Ellen Flynn on the Eisteddfod. They got gold triband, didn't they? Well, the next song is gonna be Gwilym, and the song is Neidiau. So, Neidiau. So, you enjoyed this history about Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban and a little bit of everything. So the next song is going to be Gwilym and the song is Neidiau. So the artist is going to be Gwilym and the song is going to be Neidiau, because we was in the Eisteddfod 2 weeks ago, didn't we? And oh yeah, we had been second, third, I think I'm fourth, as rumours saying. But I don't know. I think I know it. I think it is actually 4. So yeah, the next song is going to be Neidiau, and the artist is going to be Gwilym. See you next week for week 66 of Radio Kai. So goodbye for now. And yes, I know it's a bit long, 18-minute long, but you know what? It deserves it. So I see you next week. Goodbye for now. Goodbye.
Ar goll, ar brediad y lanwad cry, tonna ni ffywys i'r dŵr, di'r ioed I bod mor siŵr. Mae'r lliw yn boeth, da ni'n dwylo ar gwynt yn oedd, gadael dyfrio mae'r lleiad ar I luniau ger I thraed ar ser yn llif o yn I gor. Ti'n mwynhau y ddrama, amser cael dy gria, teli gwag y bora, sy'n casglu dy ddagra. Neidiau y tonna, deffra, os y cariad I mlaen, deith y sŵn I dyfoddi, ond ti dal I wenu. Mae byd yn boen ar I ora o dan dy groen, mae y difa allan nhw yn dy lync I di'r dŵr, ti o mor siŵr. drosodd mae'r cyfle wedi mynd o ddolwgi ac eidi nôl draw at y ffin. Ti'n mwynhau y drama, amser coed y gria, teli gwag y bora, sy'n casglu dy ddagra. Neidio i'r tona, deffra, os y cariad i mlaen, deith y sŵn i dyfoddi, ond ti dal i wenu. Amser caed y gria, y teli gwag y bora, sy'n casglu dy ddagra. Ti'n mwynhau diodda, y tywod yn dysgidia, ti'n cadw draw o'r ysfa i sychu dy ddagra. Neidio i'r tona, deffra, os y cariad i mlaen. Neidio i'r tona, ond ti dal i wenu. Neidio i'r tona, deffra, os y cariad i mlaen. Neidio i'r tona, ond ti dal i wenu.
Here's Great American Railroad Journeys with Ethan.
There are tons of steam locomotives in the United States, but which one is the best? In Gouge's History Junction, let's find out which of the top 10 is going to pass by this. And coming in at number 10, at 182 feet long and having enough fuel to fuel a single-family detached house for 4 seasons, and water capacity capable of filling a giant home-sized swimming pool, it's the Union Pacific's Big Boys! That's right, the Big Boys. Now, you may think they're at number 1, but you're wrong. We're going from 10 to 1. So basically, the Big Boys are big, as the name would imply. They were originally going to be called Wasatches after the Wasatch Grades that they go to tackle between Ogden, Utah and Cheyenne, Wyoming. However, an unknown Alco worker scrawled Big Boy in chalk on the front of number 4000's smokebox door, and thus the name stuck. Coming in at number 9, with the front smokebox dotted with such industrial rubber, and basically converted to L1 Hudson's, it's the C&O's F-19s. The F-19s, as ugly as they look, pulled the premier passenger trains like the George Washington, Fast-Flying Virginian, the Sportsman, and other such trains. Basically, these guys are the pinnacle of C&O passenger units. And then when the chassis was being planned, all 5 were converted to L1 Hudson's. One of them survived, 490 in this case. Coming in at number 8, with a 284 wheeler, and basically upgrade over the previous 282 Mikados. It's the infamous Van Swearingen Berkshires! That's right, the Van Swearingen Berkshires are basically up on this list, because why on earth not to include them? Basically, they were called Van Swearingen Berkshires because they were made by, you guessed it, the Van Swearingen Brush Bros, who basically were part of looking forward onto it. Improvements over the previous 282 Mikados. And as such, one of them did star in a Christmas movie called The Polar Express. Hey, in case you didn't know, that was 1225. Yeah, the Van Swearingen Empire by Horace Paxton and Motus James, was basically improvised on the 2A2s. And coming in at number 7, basically the BNM has flagship passenger engine, not the base, and basically with only one surviving, it's the B&M's P7s! Basically, they simply put the P7s up all the rage. And they're basically the ones that were pretty much based on the named after US presidents. Well, basically, number 5301 could be named after John Adams or John Quincy Adams, whichever you picked. And one of these guys do survive in the form of 5300, President Washington. Coming in at number 6, being one of many C&O's Hudsons, and basically one of the only Hudsons in the C&O with Baker valve gear, it's the C&O's L2! The L2's not as common as, basically more common than the L1s, and less common compared to the L2As. They are all over the place. Here's on the C&O network, which they premiered many of the well-known trains in the system, until the J3As came along, the Greenbriers, and gave them a lot of swag to do. None of them did survive. Coming in at number 6, being one of the most biggest melees ever built for the Rio Grande. And the only one that would make any other give them a huge time with that bike. It's a Rio Grande L105. Yeah, unlike the L97 Challengers built for the Rio Grande, which were basically a Union Pacific order diverted due to, well, wartime. The L105s were basically put to work on the Rio Grande's heaviest freights, and they were all over the place, with the air compressors on the smog box door and other things necessary, and these were numbered pretty much in the 3700 series. Coming in at number 4, being, well, unlike most of the New York Central and being represented for Lionel models, it's the New York Central's Hudsons! Also known as the J-Class, the Hudsons are basically everywhere if you are on the New York Central's turf, being built for the Boston Albany, the Big Four Railroad, and the Michigan Central. And what more to say? Number 5344 did get the chance to become a Lionel model. It was streamlined in 1984, and Lionel's like, you know what, let's make a 242 version of that as a toy. And then here comes Lionel with its model of the Hudson. And again, except this time, a full-on 1/48 scale version called the 700E, based on unstreamlined number 5344. However, while none survived, well, basically all that there is the tender of number 5313, formerly 502, on the TH&B, which was converted to a steam generator car for use on passenger trains after being used on a snowplow. It's currently at Steamtown in Scranton. Coming in at number 3, with passenger cars and base used on freight service, it's the Penzeys M1s. You may think that they are pretty cool for passenger service. That's because they were. Basically what they were supposed to be doing is mixed duties. So basically they were pitted with passenger colours and the Keystone number plate, but bread and butter, at least to them, is the freight works. And one survived, number 6755, on display at the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania. The tender of number 6659 is used for T1 number 5550 undergoing construction. It's basically the largest tender ever used by the M1. Coming in at number 2, we're basically 2 surviving members in 14 subclasses. It's the New York Central's Mohawk. Yes, the Mohawks. Back to the mountain types. They are divided into 4 different subclasses. L1 A's, B's, C's, and D's. L2's A's, B's, C's, and D's. L3 A's, B's, C's, and D's. And L4 A's and B's. pretty confusing. Where they could just go one way with a passenger train, get service, and come back the next day with a freight. 2 survived. Number 2933 and 3001. And coming in at number 1 with 425 members built and many placements being absolutely dumped by him. It's the Pennsylvania Railroad's K4. The K4 was put high on this list for a specific reason. 1914 saw number 1737, and of course, before you ask, numbers are all over the place again. Pretty normal for the Pennsy. Free up space for another loco, job done. So basically, 2 survived, 1361 and 3750. Both are on the 1930. 1361 is on the 1918 batch, whereas number 3750 is on the 1920 batch. How convoluting. And also on the 3750 was pretty much a substitute for number 1737, which was scrapped due to, you guessed it, 1737 being absolutely looking like it was absolutely started to rot. So they just substituted a K4 for another K4. So basically, as there's more stuff, the list will go on. Like the Transcontinental Railroad, to the Coal and Electrification Act, to the USRA standards, and more like Flying Switch. Next up is Lacey's Music Charts, but before then, let me know in the comments your own top 10 best American steam locomotives.
Thank you, boys. Now, at number 10, we got Beauty and the Beat by Justin Bieber and Nicki Minaj. At number 9, we got Homewrecker by Samba. At number 8, we got Fever Dream by Alex Warren. At number 7, we got Go by the Cocoa Brothers. Because it's been raised up by the Afrex movie. Right, Dion? Right, Don?
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
Not yet.
Don, have you watched it?
Yeah.
You watched it?
Yeah.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay, and number 6, we've got Human Nature by Michael Jackson. And number 5, we've got Beat It by Michael Jackson again. And number 4, we've got Drop Dead by Olivia Rodrigo. And number 3, we've got Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's really hogging the top 10 charts this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All because Michael Jackson's always a good artist. Right, Dion?
Yeah.
Right, Dion?
Yeah.
Comment down below if Michael Jackson's a good artist in hogging the charts. Anyway, at number 2, we've got Dracula by Tame Impala. And at number 1, we've got Ray Me and my San Francisco Olivia Dean.
Thank you, Lacey, for the chat.
Yes, go on. Thank you, Lacey, for the charts this week. And now we've got Keon and John.
Hello, guys.
Hello, Keon.
Last week, I
How
did
are you?
different... It wasn't food we had last week. It was different old cars, from old to new cars. It was last week, but I'm sorry I lost the paper.
Oh, it's
So
okay.
Alright, Sean.
if I do find it, I will still record the card, but I don't know yet. But this week, we got different types of meats this week. So we have pork, beef, chicken, lamb,
My
steak,
favourite.
turkey, gammon,
steak.
sausage, and then we had 2 different veggie meats, bacon and veggie sausage. They're the veggies option I got. So who picked one is a veggie option.
Leo.
And what was... And then which meat had number 1 was the bacon. Leo picked that because he's vegetarian. And then who had number 3 is veggie sausage. But we had Leo who also picked veggie sausage as well, because we only had 2 veggie options. Leo cannot eat meat, so I let him pick 2. And I don't remember who 2 others were, but anyways, I'm going to start with number 5. So So 5 who? So who picked beef? So we had 5 who picked beef.
Oh, 5 picked beef.
Yeah, we had 5 who picked beef, and then... Oh wait! I forgot the other who had turkey. We had one who picked turkey as well, just like one who had veggie bacon. I forgot to do that, sorry.
It's alright,
And
Sean.
after the beef, so we had 7 then who picked pork. And who had 9 was the lamb. We had 9 who picked lamb. And then the bronzes now, we got 10 who picked gammon. And gammon is on the bronze at the moment. And then we have silver who we got now is, we had 14 who picked chicken. And then finally, this week, is the gold, is the steak. We had 34 who picked nice juicy steak. Also, me, Dylan and Dion picked steak as well.
And me.
And that's on the gold. Oh, sorry, Aunt Lacey.
It's alright, Sean.
Nice steak, yes, Kim.
Yeah.
That's extra juicy steak.
And I don't know what we'll be doing next week yet, so you just have to see what's here.
Oh, and did somebody get bronze this week, Kim?
Is it
Yeah,
gammon?
gammon had bronze, and then we have chicken who had silver, then we had steak who have gold. So we had 34 winners who picked steak in the school.
Way!
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kim, for coming in. Thank you. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.
Make you love
last one was Bruce Springsteen, Glory Day. Hope you enjoyed it. Now we got the New Zealand School. So, New Zealand School. Well, number one, I'm going to see Take That next week on Belinda and Script in Olympic Stadium in London. Number two, it is Mr. Jones from Cynradd Chwech last week. We as Radio Hype wish him all the best for when he's going to Scotland. Number three, my kind pimp, I don't know where, but a prom on this Thursday. It's kind of a party, a prom, I think, something like that. Heath Pedward, my Callum Henderson from Caintree, and mynd I Tunisia am holiday. Don't know when. Number 5, wythnos nesa, ydy'r wythnos dwytha'r leavers, so Max, Peter, and so on. So, I wish you all the best for you, for your new chapter in your life and in college and everywhere, whatever you're doing. The next song is going to be Belinda Carlisle, Heaven Place on Earth. Heaven is a Place on Earth by Belinda Carlisle. Hope you enjoy it and see you next week. Goodbye.
Did I disappoint you or let you down? Should I be feeling guilty or let the judges frown? 'Cause I saw the end before we'd begun. Yes, I saw you were blinded and I knew I had won. So I took what's mine by eternal right. Took your soul out into the night. It may be over, but it won't stop there. I am here for you, if you'd only care. You touched my heart, you touched my soul, you changed my life and all my goals. And love is blind, and that I knew when my heart was blinded by you. Have kissed your lips and held your head, shared your dreams and shared your bed. I know you well, I know your smell. I've been addicted to you. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. I am a dreamer. And when I wake, you can't break my spirit. It's my dreams you take. And as you move on, remember me. Remember us and all we used to be. I've seen you cry, I've seen you smile, I've watched you sleeping for a while. I'd be the father of your child. I'd spend a lifetime with you. I know your fears and you know mine. We've had our doubts, but now we're fine. And I love you, I swear that's true. I cannot live without you. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. And I still hold your hand in mine when I'm asleep. And I will bear my soul in time when I'm kneeling at your feet. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. I'm so hollow, baby. I'm so hollow. I'm so hollow. I'm so hollow, baby. I'm so hollow. I'm so hollow.
That was Goodbye Lola by James Blunt.
Yes, go on. And now we've got your mystery song answers now for this week. How are we going?
Yes, dear.
Okay, so what was our 60 song gone?
This is the Devil by Rolling Stone.
And our 70 song was Thunder in My Heart. And it's by Leo Sayer, I think. Yes, go on.
Yes, dear.
And what was our 80 song gone?
Red Bird Wine by D.40.
And our 90 song was Let the Bear Control Your Body by 2 Unlimited. Never heard of that one, have you done?
No.
And what was our naughty song gone?
Maya by Lily
Allen.
Allen.
Okay, so there's your mystery song answers for this week, it's gone.
Yeah.
And now we got your leaderboard answers for this week. Now where are we going?
Yeah,
With what's on?
So now we got the leaderboard. So this week was Guess the Music movie from The Image. So Can I Die got, no it isn't, it's number 8. Cynnar Pedwar, sorry, got 0 out of 15, not trying. Number 7, Cynnar 2 got 8 out of 15. Number 5, Cynnar 3 got 10 out of 15. Cynnar 6 got 10 out of 15. Oh, also, Cain Die got 10 out of 15. Cynnar Pimp got 10 out of 15. And also we have Cain no it's not, Cain 3 got 10 out of 15. Number 3 we got Dwayne Wen, got 13 out of 15. But before then we have number 4 before then, Sliver got 12 out of 15. Now we got Dwayne Wen, got 13 out of 15. Canolin got 13 out of 15. Cain Dean got 13 out of 15. And also we got Cain Pedwar. No it's not. Yeah it is Cain Pedwar. Got 13 out of 15. Can I Die got 15 out of 15. And also we got Cynnar Chwech got 15 out of 15. And also Cain Chwech got 15 out of 15. And we had Cynnar got 15 out of 15. And this was Guess the Musical movie from His Image. Which is, yes, you guessed it, Lacey done it. Well, Lacey's done every leaderboard. No, it's not. Leaderboard picture. So, but she's leaving next week, so probably I'll take over like I used to. So probably, I don't know. Probably. So the next song is going to be a Flirtery Don't Shy. So hope you enjoy it. And I'll see you next week. Well, maybe not actually. Maybe I'm busy next week for going to somewhere that's going to be on the news on the school in a minute. So, goodbye for now.
Bellach dwi'n 20 oed, di tyfu mewn i'n rhoen, di blasu be di byw, di teimlo bach o boen. A yndw dwi dal yma, nid y cynta nac yr ola. Dwi'n cera mewn I tafs a dy just dim ryfedd ag oedd o'n dell a na fi di rhaid rhoi bai ar y lle, nid y rhai ti'n cofio deitha fi. Dwi'n cofio deitha chdi, dwi'n gweld hi'n anodd coelio, ond yn haws fydd anghytuno. Ac ar ôl ystyried yr un yn sefyllfa, o lle aeth yr ysfa am gwestiynau, buan y dwi'n ansylwi, do'n am rheswm i mi boeni. Hyd i'r un sy'n dysgu fi, atgoffa fi i wenu a dal i wyddi. Dawsia, dawsia, dawsia nes dy fod y draed i hyd, ti yn fwyw ti a diwedd y dydd. Dawsia, dawsia, dawsia nes dy fod y draed i hyd, sa neb yn dywel di a diwedd y dydd. Sy'n dysgu fi, atgoffa fi i wenu a dal i wyddi. Dawsia, dawsia, dawsia nes dy fod y draed i hyd, ti yn fwyw ti a diwedd y dydd. Dawsia, dawsia, dawsia nes dy fod y draed i hyd, sa neb yn dywel di a diwedd y dydd. Beth a dwi'n ugain oed i tyfu mewn
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
Okay, so you're listening to Radio Caib, yes, go on?
Yeah,
And now we got a very special guest here with us today, haven't we, go on?
Yeah.
Yes, Ocean?
Yes, it is.
We got Steffan Lloyd Owen, hefo ni heddiw. Helo, Steffan, sydd â chi prawn ma?
Helo, Osian, Dion a Dylan, diolch y galon am y gwahoddiad. Mae'n braf cael sgwrsio efo chi heddiw.
Croeso tad. Okay, so, cwestiwn un i chi heddiw ydy, ewch chi gael dipyn bach mwy amdan dy hyn?
So, Steffan, dwi'n dod o Bentra Berw ar Ynys Môn, a dwi yn 30 mlwydd oed. Nid dwi'n byw yn Zurich yn y Swistir yn Switzerland, a dwi'n gweithio yn y tŷ opera fan'na fel artist ifanc. A job fi ydy dwi'n cael hyfforddiant, dwi'n cael gwersi canu, dwi'n cael bod mewn sioia ar y prif llwyfan yn y tŷ opera yma na. Dwi'n cael rola bach, dwi'n ma'n caru mowr oherwydd fo fi o dan hyfforddiant. Ond dwi'n cael cyfleoedd i ganu ar y brif llwyfan. A ia, dwi wedi bod yn byw fan'na ers 2024, ers mis Medi. A dwi'n symud adra i fyw yn Gogledd Cymru yn mis Gorffennaf. Dwi'n gorffan yn Zurich, wedyn dwi'n symud adra.
Ydych chi?
Ydych chi? Cool.
Ynddo tad.
Want to do the second question, mate?
How long have you been singing for?
Oh, I've been singing since I was in primary school. I was in Ysgol Llamer Pwll on the island. Fatha chdi, Osian? Ysgol da. Ysgol da. And I used to sing in the choir under Nia Wynne Jones. Nia Wynne Jones was my teacher at the time, and she was the music teacher there. And the first time I competed in the Eisteddfod with the choir I was in year 3, so I think I would have been 7 years old when the Eisteddfod came to Eisteddfod Môn in 2004.
Yeah.
And I remember we sung with the choir, and we got second in the national, singing Can be oedd o da? Can Arch. A dwi'n cofio daia, oedden ni'n canu hwnna. Wedyn, so dwi wedi bod yn canu os ni'n 7, so 23 years I've been singing now, but singing on my own for the last 15 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Just want to do the third question?
Third question? Wait.
Yeah.
So, third question is, where did you held, what's this?
We've heard that you got opera in Germany. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, well, I'm not doing it until October this year, September this year. So I've been invited to work with Dresden Opera House in Germany, which is just south of Berlin. And we're doing a piece called Trouble in Tahiti, which is an English piece by a composer called Bernstein. And it's a not very long opera. It's about 45 minutes long, and there's only 5 in the cast. And this will be my first ever opera in Germany. And yeah, I'm very looking forward to go and do that.
Wow. Okay, so the fourth question is, who inspired you to produce opera?
Oh, good question. I was singing in school, and my teacher in the school, David Hughes, Gwynant Pearce Roberts, I was getting lessons from her with Cerdd Dant and doing my music GCSEs. When that age, you get opportunities to listen to opera, and she knew I was singing and was wanting to show me a different idea of where I would like to go with the singing. And then after this, I started singing lessons with Sian Wyn Gibson, mezzo-soprano. She was a professional for a few years, still is a professional. And she taught me, she's from near just outside Caernarfon. and I used to go for singing lessons with her, and she told me that that opera was probably the best route for me to go down. Yes, so it was Sian's guidance that told me then to go to the college in Manchester where I studied then.
Question 5, okay, mate?
Cool.
Okay, so our 5th question is, what was it like to collaborate with Sir Bryn Terfel?
Well, I've been fortunate. I met Bryn for the first time when I was about 13 or 14, when I was singing in a competition with Ysgol David Hughes, and Bryn was one of the judges that day. So I got to meet Bryn many years ago. And then, fortunately, I was asked to join the agency that he's a part of when I was 21 or 22.
Wow.
And that's when I worked with Bryn for the first time in a production of Tosca in the National Eisteddfod in Llangollen, which was an amazing experience. But more recently, I've started working with him on a more regular basis. I worked with him in Zurich. He came to Zurich to do Scarpia, an amazing character in the opera Tosca. So I got to do that role with him again in Zurich. And then after this, I was invited to sing with Bryn in Brest, in France, for a big awards ceremony called Les Victoires, where we got to sing a duet together. And that was the first time I sang a duet with Bryn. And you know, since I was 13, 14 years old, I've really looked up to Bryn when I knew, especially after I knew that I wanted to do opera. So it's like singing with your idol. You know, if you love football, it's like playing with Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi or Kylian Mbappe. You know, it's for me, this is the same thing, being able to work with my idol. So it's not everybody that gets that opportunity. So I'm feeling very lucky, and he's a very lovely man, and very lucky to have worked with him.
Which football team do you support, Don?
Manchester United.
Manchester United. Is there any Newcastle fans here?
Oh, you're Newcastle.
No. You're lucky. I'm a big Newcastle fan, and 2 seasons ago it was a good thing. Not so much anymore.
You're Swansea City, yeah.
I'm Swansea City, yeah.
Swansea City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've got a good striker, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you think you'll hold on to him?
Probably.
Man United will always
hopefully
be the
there.
best football team, huh?
Oh, here we go.
What's your 6, mate? Where
could be your favourite place to walk?
Say again, where my favourite place to work?
Walk.
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, see, I love walking. I choose to walk to work every day, even though there's a tram system in Zurich. I'd rather walk. I love walking, and I think anything that is near water is good. In Zurich, we have the lake right next to the Opera House. There's a beautiful lake. And I think that's one of my favourite places to walk at the moment. But in Wales, there's the Lôn Las track that goes from Llangefni to Pentrabero to Newburgh. I think I love this because I live in Pentrabero. That's right next to the Lôn Las. And on a beautiful day, you can walk all the way to Llandwyn Beach in Newburgh. And I think in Wales, that's my favourite walk.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wow, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
What would be your favourite place to walk, Don? Round Holyhead?
Yeah.
I like walking around Llangefni, don't I, go?
Yeah.
But where? It's Llangefni, Dion. And but where in Holyhead?
I know, it's got the dingle.
Anyways.
We'll pass on that, yes, go on.
Yeah.
Okay, so our 7th question is, have you sung in any other countries apart from Wales?
Oh, so I've been lucky enough, I've sung in England. I'm going to Scotland to sing for the first time in August. I'm travelling with the Zurich Opera House there to the Edinburgh Festival. So that'll be my first time in Scotland. I've sung in Ireland. So I've sung in all of the UK. I've sung in France. I've sung in Barcelona. I've sung in New York in America.
Yeah, wow.
I've sung in Canada. And another thing that I was able to do, I worked on a cruise ship for a bit as well. Small opera company that would go work on cruise ships. So I was able to go and sing, maybe not off the boat, but I was able to go and sing in India, in Dubai, and we went to Iceland and Greenland. So I think those are the most fascinating places that I've gone to sing. That's where my singing has taken me. But yeah, I've been able to visit some amazing countries through my singing.
Wow.
Question 8. How old?
Question 8. Okay. Faint oedd ar...
Chi.
Oh yeah. Faint oed wyt ti pan o'ch chi wedi dechrau canu opera?
O, pan nes i ddechrau canu opera, o'n i'n 18 mlwydd oed pan nes i ddechrau canu opera am y tro cynta. A nath o ddechrau, just cyn i fi symud i'r coleg yn Manceinion, ges i alwad ffôn gan dyn oedd yn rhedeg y cwmni Opera Cymru, sef Patrick Young. Ac oedden nhw'n mynd ar daith gyda opera gan Tchaikovsky o'r enw Eugene Onegin. Ac oedden nhw'n neud yr opera yn lle neud o'n Rwsieg, oedden nhw'n neud o'n Gymraeg. A ges i'r gyfle i fynd ac ymuno ar cast ar daith o Amgylch Cymru. Aethon ni o Pen Ynys Môn reit lawr i Gaerdydd ar daith. A hwn oedd o tro cyntaf i fi ganu mewn opera. A beth yn neis amdano fo, nes i gael neud o yn Gymru am y tro cyntaf hefyd. 18 mlwydd oed.
Ie, da iawn.
Oes, want to know question 9?
You sure you don't... Ti'n siwr ti? Ydw, mae'n da. So, dwi wedi clywed, mae chi mewn band trio hefo Emyr Gibson.
Oed, tad. Oed, o'n i mewn grŵp ar enw Trio am blynyddoedd. Nath y ddiweddar Annette Byn-Parry a cael fi ag Emyr a'i mab Bedwyr i gwmpas y piano yn ei tu hi'n Cynefin yn Deiniolen un noson. A dwi'n siŵr na'n 2015, dwi'n meddwl oedd hyn, ella 2000, na ddi cyn hynny. Dwi'n meddwl ddi'n 2013, dwi'n meddwl. Ag dyma hi'n deitha ni, dwi wedi clywed, dwi'n wedi clywed y tri chi'n canu fy'ch gilydd, felly na i gwahodd y tri chi dros ond yn ei weld sut ma'n swndio. A dyma ni'n canu fy'n gilydd, a dyma Annette yn dweud rhaid i ni ddechrau band, meddwl hi, a grŵp. A wnaethon ni feddwl am yr enw Trio, oherwydd, mae trio, meddwl 3 person, ond yn Gymraeg hefyd, oedden ni'n trio rhywbeth newydd. A felly dyna lle nath yr enw ddod o. A nathon ni cael ein cyngor cynta yn Galeri Gaernarfon. Mis Mehefin oedd hi'n 2013. Ac dyma ni'n canu'r gyngerdd gafon ni wneud cyngerdd yn y pnawn yn y galeri Tonic. A dyma Dafydd Iwan yn dod i'r cyngerdd i rand yna ni. Ag tra Dafydd yn gweithio i sain, dyma fo'n cynnig album i ni ar ôl y cyngerdd cynta. A ia, gafon ni brofiadau arbennig fel rhan o Trio. Gafon ni 2 album, gafon ni 1 sengal, Dolig hefyd. Gafon ni drefeilio i Efrog Newydd, i Washington, i ganu hefyd. A ia, gafon ni brofiad arbennig. Mae rhain osgofion gorau i fel canwr wedi dod o drefeilio a canu hefo Trio. Gafon ni lot o hwyl a lot o storis da. A mae gan fi hiraeth amdano y grŵp. Oedd o'n rhywbeth oedd y tri nhw chi'n bod a'n neud. Felly, amser y da fy Trio.
Okay, so the 12th question is, would you rather live in Wales or Germany?
Oh, that's a very easy answer. Wales. I've lived away in Switzerland now for 2 years, nearly 2 years, and I'm very excited to move home. I think in these different countries there are better facilities. There's better transport. There's better opportunities. There are more things to do. But I think, especially when you're used to living in Wales and you're used to this type of lifestyle, I think when you're given the opportunity to go somewhere else, I think that's when you realise.
Okay, so we apologise for his sudden cut there in the Scaff and Lloyd's interview. Yes, go on. We apologise for that. And our next song, dan ni anna diolch I Scaff and Lloyd Gowan am dod I siarad efo ni ar Radio Caib heddiw. Yes, go on.
Yeah, diolch.
And what's our next song here now, Dawn?
Bracky.
Plastic Fantastic. Yes, go on.
Yeah, diolch.
And who's that, Molly?
Macaroni.
Yes, go on. And we'll see you all next week for week 67 of Radio Caib. Yes, go on. Yeah. Take care for now.
Money Show.